Hey guys, SeanB. Today we're taking a look at the new Abyss stage for Dragons. And this is currently, in my opinion, the safest and decently fast team for this dungeon. And is very free to play friendly as well. So the speed for this dungeon is not too crazy. You can still run a rather slow Verde that is focused on damage output. So mine is on attack with damage attack. It used to have like 0 speed, but without Ikaru, I have to up the speed a little bit. We have a Loren on Violence. I think Violent is okay, Swift is okay. She just needs to be faster than my Spectra so that we can achieve optimal damage output. So she defense break and then Spectra do the thing, and that's pretty much it. So I think she can be on Swift because sometimes she proc way too many Violence and it kind of slowed the run down a little bit. So speed, HP, trying to get accuracy, and you are set. Okay, this unit is going to be standard. Spectra is going to be on speed, crit damage, and accuracy. So he will be the main damage dealer. This unit can do from 60,000 to 100,000 damage, whether I have branding on the boss or not. Trying to get crit damage in skill 2, maybe some accuracy. Actually, I can make it a little bit better. That is not a whole lot of crit damage. We can up the crit damage a little bit by giving more crit damage in skill 2. So you want accuracy because you want to land the attack by pushback and the slow to make the team very, very safe. I max skill Spectra and you should too, okay? Veromos is actually on a rage build, not the usual violent build because I want to make the team as fast as possible, okay? You can run a violent build for your general purpose, but if you want to focus the Veromos only for this dungeon, then I think Rage is totally okay because this skill can also do somewhere around 80,000 damage. This skill can do very good damage on the boss and it can push back the tower attack bar, not allowing the boss to get the immunity. So this unit is a key unit for this dungeon as well. So you have some extra crit damage in skill 2 and maybe some damage on fire. But then this one was from the Giants video. But anyway, I have damage on fire over here. Will be really, really good as well. So he doesn't really need attack, which means I can put this one on. And I think it should be all good. And lastly, we have Crow. And Crow is on the Fatal build. Nothing too fancy. I have some accuracy here because I think landing a branding will help the run a bit faster. But not too important, okay? He's also a damage dealer. But I like him because he can brand. And he's also free to play friendly. Anyway, let's go for a quick run and let's talk about the team. So I've been farming dragons quite a little bit after I finished making the video for the new spiritual realm. And I gotta say the drop rate for Abyss Floor is abysmal. It's terrible. I think they either have to make this thing easier so that I really want to farm this or make the drop rate better because we are used to, let's say, 40-second run with Shikaru, and now we're going to this with a minute plus run, and that is like me trying to optimize my damage output and with like very good runes. An average player would spend like 2-minute run on this, and you get 6-star blue rune, like half the time. And then you also get like rune crafting material that is like meaningless as well. So it feels very terrible to farm this dungeon. Even though I can do this a minute, but it doesn't feel any different from doing the old Dragons B12. The only difference is that I get intangible rune, but that is a quite intangible goal. Because so far, I have not kept a single intangible rune yet because they're all blue. So even though I'm getting like a minute 5, a minute 10 average, which is like not too bad, I would say, because in the past, maybe you have like a 50-second Trikaru, then it's not that much of a difference. But still, it feels terrible because it is supposed to be like really, really hard. And then the reward should be like good. It feels like TOA hell. The effort I need to put in to build this team that is requiring a lot of crit damage rune and speed tuning and all that stuff. And then the rewards are pretty ass. So it is definitely not a good feeling farming this dungeon. And I think this is a little bit easier compared to the Giants Abyss Font. I think it's a bit harder because they make that thing immune to dots. So you have to build like a strong damage team and it's like another bunch of like rune set, that kind of stuff. So these dungeons are really, they are quite a challenge, okay? They're very tanky. and they don't feel very rewarding to farm because we come into this reloaded update. We thought it's gonna revolutionize farming aspect of the game, make farming is gonna be much more fun and rewarding, but it turns out to not be very rewarding and it's much harder. Like, why do I want to farm this? And it's just like it feels terrible. Okay, so this is gonna be the team for this dungeon. It is really, really good. And what are the alternative for this if you don't have these units, for example? So I think we're gonna keep Verde, Loren, and either Spectra or Veromos because they are very, very good and they are very free to play friendly. So if you don't want to use Crow, you can make the team even safer by using Ken. So Ken can branch just like Crow, and his Shadow Claw in the shop, by the way, because many people play the game after the Assassin. No. Street Fighter collaboration. You can buy Shadow Claw in the shop, and it is the same unit. So he has strip attack power reduction, he has strip branding and good damage. So he's very, very good and make the run even safer, but the run will be a bit longer because I think Crow does a bit more damage. So you can use this guy. You can run Violent, you can run Rage, doesn't really matter. He is really, really good as well. But let's say you don't really fuse or max skill a Veromos or a Spectra. You want to get some sort of damage and attack bar reduction. So if you have unit like Poseidon, or if you have, you can definitely try Poseidon. You can definitely try Teor. Where the hell is Teor? Fuck. So unit like Teor or Poseidon can be really, really good for the dungeon as well because they can do damage and they have attack by pushback and slow debuff. But I think Veromos is just really, really good because he cleansed the dot, make the run very, very safe, very good damage and attack by reduction. So this guy is just really, really good for this, okay? And some water damage to a 5-star will be really, really good for this dungeon. So some other team I've tried and not very, very good. For example, I've tried this on the Veromos rune build. Like I take this rune and put on Deva. The damage output is very underwhelming. Not the best. Not recommend this. Also not very free to play friendly. Not very safe as well. Veromos just hard carry compared to the twin. I also try this unit. This skill can do 150,000 damage on the boss with branding. Very good damage, but very bad AI. So if she decides to not use the skill, then her damage output is not as good as Veromos or Spectra. And she contributes 0 to safety. And also she is terrible in the trash wave because all her skill scale with max HP. So in the trash wave, she is terrible. I've also tried Sigmarus. I don't Devamon this guy because I don't think he's a very good unit. And his damage is okay. Not that much better. The freeze can be very good for the trash wave to make it safer, but Veromos can stun. So this guy doesn't provide any extra value except for the fact that he's a bit easier to rune because he awakened into crit rate. But the damage output is not that much better anyway. So not recommend. Veromos can be used in all the PvP aspect of the game as well. While this guy is gonna fall off really, really fast. And also Veromos is good for Giant. So Veromos is just like really, really good. Okay. So those are the things I've tried and they don't make the team better. So far, this is my best team. You can also try Raok because Raok can team up and reduce cooldown Veromos and Spectra. And that will make the team even safer. Okay. You can put Raok on Violent and he will team up, reduce cooldown of Veromos and Spectra, make the team safer, but definitely going to be a bit slower. So I think this or this or this will be the best option for this dungeon. Okay. So that is my guide for the Dragon's Abyss Lair. And honestly, I don't know, man. They have to make some changes for this because it's just not really worth it, okay? It feels like farming Dragon's B12 back in the day, and it doesn't feel very different. And do you have to do this? I think if you want to farm Abyss, you can farm Abyss normal, okay? Abyss normal will also drop Intangible Rune, and I think the rate for dropping blue and legendary is probably going to be the same as the DB12 back in the day. So I think if you want to farm Abyss and you find Abyss hard a little bit too hard, you can definitely give Abyss normal a try. And I think that's gonna be a much easier challenge for you. And you might get like a sub 50-second run. I think on Reddit, there'll be people who will data mine the drop rate and they'll be like, you guys should farm Abyss normal because it makes more sense. I'm not too sure yet, but I have a feeling that it's just not worth it to farm this dungeon, okay? I think after making this video and showing you guys the team and the rune stat that you need to complete the dungeon rather easily, I will either farm Artifact or I will farm Seal Rune because it makes more sense. I just don't want to farm this. I'm going to wait until they allow Abyss, Spiritual Realm. I'm going to farm that instead to get Intangible and Seal Rune because this is just, it feels terrible. I don't want to farm this. It sucks. But this is the Dragon Abyss Lair team thingy. And I hope it's going to be helpful. And let me know your team in the comment section down below. What do you use? And let's share the best team for one another, okay? I wish I have this unit. I think this unit will allow more team building. Where is she? Where is she? Deborah, that unit, okay? Where the fuck is... I wish I have this unit because she allowed defense break to be like so much better. So this unit will allow for better team building. I'm sure there's going to be sub 1 minute Deborah team out there already. I wish I have this unit to show you guys the better team, okay? Dungeon is officially pay to win. Because if you have this, then I think your dragons or whatever you farm in the Abyss stage is going to be so much easier because you do way more damage compared to a normal person on the same rune quality. Dungeon is now pay to win. God damn it.